Whoa, we got some good news coming in the news wire real quick. It's the Boxing Clinic. Your boy CJ Goodfella back. One time for the one time. Shouting out to LDBT and YTBC. And apparently, Buddy McGurk's boy, Sergey Lipinets, is, first he won yesterday versus Kondo. It was a close fight. And now, apparently, Lipinets and Adrien Broner are going to be fighting for Lipinets' IBF 140-pound title at a date sometime in March. I'm going to link the article in the description and just give him my 2 cents on it. Difficult fight. I know Adrien Broner yesterday was in good spirits. He's been in good spirits after fighting Mikey Garcia. Hopefully he found a home at 140 pounds. I still think his best weight was 135. That's when he was at his most dangerous. A lot of reports and rumors going around that he was going to get rid of Mike Stafford. I still haven't heard anything of that nature happening. He's extremely loyal, and most guys that come from inner city, that their coach is like their father figure, like Mike Stafford is to Rasheed Warren and the rest of those guys from Cincinnati and that Ohio area. They stay loyal, man. They remember, Mike Stafford being there every step of the way, being there to be that side father figure for Adrien Broner and a lot of those other fighters. Probably getting them out of trouble, picking them up in the snow, making sure they eat when they didn't have food. Open the door. You don't cut bait with that, man. If anything, Adrien Broner is going to bring more advisors in, like Kevin Cunningham and Barry Hunter, and hopefully he can get serious enough about his career. He can, put a good performance up against Sergey Lipinets. Sergey Lipinets is a good fighter. He showed some chinks in his armor yesterday because he had never been 12 rounds. He'd been 10 rounds once, I'm not sure. I don't think he had been 10 rounds. He thought he was ready for Terrence Crawford, but he wasn't. And he said the blood in his eye really distracted him, and that's a part of going through the experience of being a fighter. That's when we talk about you need experience. We're talking about Erickson Lubin, how to deal with things, how to deal when you get hurt, how to keep a poker face, how to grab, how to hold, how to deal with a cut in your eye. You can't simulate, for the most part, you can't simulate those experiences. You just have to go through them, and that's why you step up gradually. Because you get a cut of your eye versus Terrence Crawford, you got knocked out versus Okondo. So you see what I'm saying? So that's why you step up gradually. And now Lipinets is going to be a better fighter for the experience that he had now. How would he match up with Adrien Broner? That's a difficult fight. One thing I can tell you is that Lipinets usually, I really can't really gauge him. He's multi-dimensional for the most part. When you talk about, he can be an attacker, he can box. So would he move a little bit on Adrien Broner and try to bring the fight to him? You see Mikey kind of bring the fight to Adrien. Adrien get on the bite. Adrien is most effective coming forward and punching to the body. It's tough to say who our favorite in this fight because I don't know how desperate Adrien Broner is. I don't know what the deal is with Adrien Broner. I don't know. Is this his last hurrah? He's been desperate for the last few fights, and every time he steps up in competition, he loses. But when he goes back down to a certain level of competition, then he looks spectacular and get people back on the bandwagon. Now, Lipinets, what type of competition is Lipinets? Is he as good a fighter as Mikey Garcia at this point with a little bit more experience? Absolutely not. So it's difficult to gauge, what type of fighter Lipinets is. Lipinets got some power. He's a good body puncher. He's a polished fighter. He does some things well, some things better and different than Mikey Garcia as well. He does a lot of things worse than Mikey Garcia or different than Mikey Garcia. So it's a difficult fight for me to say who I would favor. It's just too far out. I guess they're in the early negotiation stages of the fight, but they targeting Lipinets, and Lipinets' manager said it's going to be Adrien Broner. They only want the big fights at 140. You know what I'm saying? And Adrien Broner is always a big name to boost your name, and if you can't get past him, then you're not ready for the big dogs. And it's kind of like a journeyman door. If you can't knock down an Adrien Broner door, you're really not going to be elite type fighter. If you knock down the door and beat Adrien Broner, then you on that elite status. Broner has a ton of talent, and it's sad that he's letting it waste and joking around, and he's not improving. He's not making those adjustments as he move up in weight, bringing his base a little closer, working on some fundamentals, working on getting his feet closer together, and working on like technique where he can punch more. The reason that he doesn't let his hands go is not a stamina issue, it's a technique issue. If Adrien Broner feels that he doesn't have you in a position to hit you for 100% sure, 99.9% sure that he feels he can't hit you, he gonna throw. But if he don't feel like he can't hit you 99.9% of the time, he's not gonna throw. He don't throw any throwaway punches. He don't waste any punches. Every punch he throws is intended to land. So he don't have dummy punches. He don't feint that much no more. He don't feel the need to do it. He was at his best when he was throwing to the body, using the jab and picking his shots. But if you pick up the pace and make him pick up his volume, he's not the same fighter. And Buddy McGirt is smart enough to know that with Sergey Lipinets. And it should be a good fight. The only problem Lipinets probably would have seriously is the stamina going down the stretch. Where Adrien Broner sometimes he steps it up down the stretch, sometimes he fades and then steps it up again when he gets the second win. But it's an excellent fight in my opinion. It's a fight that I definitely will be looking forward to. And to the best man wins. And we keep saying, when is Adrien Broner's career over? When is he really a journeyman? I think the journeyman status starts here with Lipinets. You know what I'm saying? Make a name off of Adrien Broner. Let me know what y'all think. We